On a dusty road, a young leopard cub naively mistakes a fierce honey badger for a playmate. But the badger has no patience for games, launching a swift and brutal attack on the cub. Though the little cub tries to defend itself, it is quickly overwhelmed by the badger's relentless fury. Biting down with crushing force, the predator ignores the cub's desperate cries as the struggle ends. With a final, fatal grip on the neck, the badger seals the young leopard's tragic fate. Sensing danger from afar, the mother leopard suddenly realizes something is wrong and sprints toward the scene. Arriving to find her cub lifeless, she immediately unleashes her maternal rage upon the honey badger. Tackling the killer to the ground, she is determined to avenge her lost cub in a furious clash. She bites and claws relentlessly, but the badger's legendary toughness allows it to fight back fiercely. The brutal battle intensifies as both animals roll in the dirt, neither willing to back down. Gripping her opponent tightly, the leopard struggles to find a weakness in the badger's thick hide. But the badger wriggles and snaps, using its loose skin to twist and escape her deadly hold. Driven by pure grief, the mother leopard continues her relentless assault, refusing to let her enemy go. The two powerful predators clash repeatedly on the dirt road, kicking up thick clouds of dust. They pause for a brief moment, staring each other down before resuming their deadly, exhausting confrontation. As the leopard lunges once more, the defiant badger stands its ground with vicious, warning snarls. Still, the leopard dominates the exchange, keeping the badger on the defensive with powerful, heavy swipes. The badger struggles to find any opening against its much larger and faster feline opponent. The leopard sinks her teeth into the badger's neck, but its rubbery hide prevents a fatal injury. The badger's legendary, stubborn ferocity is on full display as it absolutely refuses to submit. Even as the leopard flings it around, the tough mustelid keeps biting and clawing back. Snapping viciously at the leopard's face, the badger forces the big cat to remain highly cautious. Slowly, the frantic violence begins to de-escalate as both animals show signs of deep physical exhaustion. They circle each other warily, carefully measuring their next moves in the dusty, quiet arena. The leopard makes another cautious advance, only to be met by the badger's defensive, unyielding posture. The badger lunges forward to keep her at bay, maintaining its fierce and stubborn defense. This tense standoff continues on the road, with neither predator willing to concede defeat. Though the badger bears visible wounds, it continues to hold its ground against the powerful cat. The leopard hesitates, realizing this opponent is simply too tough and resilient to kill easily. Finally, the badger turns to make its escape, and the exhausted leopard decides not to pursue. As the badger retreats safely into the brush, it leaves the grieving mother leopard behind. With the fight over, she slowly walks back to the spot where her cub lies motionless. She approaches the lifeless body, hoping against hope for any small sign of life. She gently licks her cub, but there is no response from the young, fallen leopard. But her grief is interrupted as a spotted hyena appears in the distance, drawn by the scent of blood. The mother leopard continues to linger over her cub even as the scavenger draws closer. The hyena walks slowly across the savanna, its eyes locked onto the potential meal on the road. The leopard continues to lick her cub's wounds, momentarily ignoring the new threat closing in. As the hyena gets dangerously close, the mother leopard finally turns to confront the intruder. Standing defensively over her cub, she growls fiercely to warn the hyena to stay away. The hyena hesitates but remains highly interested in the carcass, testing the grieving mother's resolve. Suddenly, the leopard lunges at the hyena, initiating a desperate new battle to protect her cub. The two predators clash fiercely, biting and clawing at one another in a cloud of dust. The hyena fights back with its powerful jaws, attempting to overpower the exhausted leopard. Though the leopard uses her agility to land quick strikes, her energy is rapidly fading. The hyena snaps viciously, forcing the leopard onto the defensive as she struggles to keep up. They grapple intensely on the ground, kicking up dust as the desperate struggle continues. Breaking free, the leopard stands her ground once more, snarling defiantly at her rival. The hyena circles her relentlessly, looking for any opening to steal the dead cub. The leopard lunges again, but her movements are visibly slower due to her mounting injuries. The hyena sinks its teeth into her shoulder, drawing blood and weakening her even further. Injured and completely exhausted, the mother leopard finally realizes she cannot win this fight. With a heavy heart, she slowly walks away, forced to leave her cub's body behind. The hyena immediately approaches the lifeless cub, victorious in its grim scavenger mission. The defeated leopard can only watch from a distance as the hyena claims the tragic prize. The hyena begins to drag the cub away, securing its meal on the harsh savanna. Meanwhile, the honey badger quietly watches the entire scene unfold from the nearby bushes. Standing on its hind legs, it calmly observes the tragic aftermath of the conflict it started. It then turns and walks away, completely indifferent to the tragedy left in its wake. The hyena continues to feed on the cub, a brutal reminder of the savanna's unforgiving nature. Elsewhere, wild African honeybees buzz around blooming flowers, busy with their daily routine. They return to a hollow tree trunk, where the colony has established a massive hive. These bees are notoriously aggressive, prepared to defend their brood with suicidal, relentless fervor. But the honey badger, following the sweet scent of honey, approaches their fortress. Armed with thick skin and powerful claws, the badger prepares to raid the hive. It begins to tear at the tough wood of the tree with surprising, surgical precision. A massive swarm of bees immediately emerges, creating a frantic, defensive blur around the intruder. Hundreds of stings are delivered directly to the badger's face, yet it remains completely unbothered. Its incredibly thick skin easily protects it from the venomous onslaught of the angry swarm. Craving the protein-rich bee larvae and sweet honey, it ignores the painful stings completely. The badger happily licks the wax and honey, enjoying the high-fat content of the comb. This rich feast provides the concentrated energy required to sustain its active, nomadic lifestyle. The badger continues to eat, completely covered in bees but remaining entirely unfazed. It devours the honeycomb, satisfying its deep hunger with the sweet, highly nutritious reward. The bees continue their futile defense even as the badger successfully finishes its raid. Finally, the badger climbs down the tree, its face heavily matted with wax and dust. It walks away from the tree, already prepared to search for its next meal. As an opportunistic omnivore, the badger eats everything from wild fruit to venomous cobras. It begins to dig eagerly in the dirt, searching for hidden insects or small rodents. Its relentless search soon leads it to an unattended nest of giant ostrich eggs. Ostrich parents are formidable defenders, but they must occasionally leave the nest to feed. For the honey badger, this absence presents a rare opportunity for a massive, high-protein feast. The badger immediately bites down, trying to crack the thick calcium shell of the giant egg. A single ostrich egg provides a massive caloric reward, equivalent to roughly 20 chicken eggs. The badger's legendary persistence is its greatest asset as it successfully breaks open the shell. It eagerly laps up the rich yolk, focused entirely on the high-calorie meal. The badger ignores everything else around it, consumed by its relentless drive to feed. After finishing its meal, the badger rests briefly in the dirt, exhausted but deeply satisfied. Soon, it will continue its endless, fearless search for food across the African savanna.